Look at this. Trump speaking at a Hilton in Palm Beach criticized Biden for going to Ukraine but not Ohio. You might recall that Trump was impeached for trying to extort the Ukrainian government. No one cares about this. Like, the funniest part about that entire story is that Trump literally was like, yeah, we'll keep giving you arms, as they did, okay? But just like, you know, you got to find dirt, which is definitely an impeachable offense. That was a violation for sure, right? But you can't cover a Trump W like this when he is literally right, okay? When he's completely correct, and it looks awful from the perspective of average Americans, okay? When you're doing politics. He meant NATO, not just Ukraine. Yeah, good luck, globeheads. Explain that to, like, dudes living in fucking Pennsylvania and Ohio. I don't even agree with it, too. Like, I don't even agree with that attitude anyway. Sorry, you silly, pathetic losers. You don't understand. He met with NATO, and that's really important. Like, the fuck are you talking about? There was a time and place when, like, you know, there were liberals in the Democratic Party who talked about how military spending was absolute bananas and that we need to do something about it to make sure that we help our citizens instead of continue bloodshed overseas. That's long gone. Post 9/11, there is none of that, okay? It's crazy. Look.
Done in 2 years. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And even now you have a president going to Ukraine and you have people in Ohio that are in desperate need of help. And I was very proud to say that I announced I was going to Ohio. You know, FEMA said we're not going to give them anything. The Biden administration said we're not going to give them anything. And then I announced I'm going. Please sit down.
Look at that. Look, a kernel of truth and a whole bunch of lies wrapped up around it. But it doesn't matter because the kernel of truth is there. He went to Ohio. Biden went to Kyiv. Okay? The lies are FEMA didn't want to give anything to fucking Ohio. That's a lie. Okay? That was directed by Mike DeWine, the governor. The Republican governor of Ohio was the one who denied the actual fucking help from the government. Okay? But hey, you get to dominate the narrative like this if you can just openly state this shit. You get to dominate the narrative. You can be literally the guy who not only advocates for DeWine, you can be the guy who advocates for deregulation and successfully gets deregulation. You know what I mean? Reversing an Obama-era decision, for example, that deregulated the railroads, as we talked about, as the railroad companies, as we talked about. And you can still get to make this argument, and most people will believe you because you're there. You went there. They successfully caused the problem and then turned around, Republicans, I mean, they successfully caused the problem. Democrats are not infallible in this either, but if you're looking at it strictly from a Republican perspective, they caused the problem almost directly. Their ideology is directly responsible for this, deregulation is, okay? Then they turned around and shifted it to a culture war narrative. They slided the fucking conversation away from deregulation to a culture war narrative. These are white people in Ohio. These are hardworking, white working class people that have been left behind by the bi-coastal elitist Democrats. Okay? They slid that convo neatly into a white people are under attack and the Democrats don't give a fuck about it box. Okay? And meanwhile, the Democrats are doing nothing to combat it. They didn't do a good job trying to combat it. It's not that the Republicans are exceptional at reframing narratives. I mean, they're pretty good because they want to win and they don't have a lot of support and their ideas suck. So they have to do everything they can to win and they're going to play dirty. But Democrats, on the other hand, don't want to win. They love the situation that they're currently in where they have like no real meaningful control. So that they could just throw their hands up in the air and say, oh, fuck, we can't do anything about it. That's it. That's where we're at. That is precisely the reason why Democrats are losing this conversation, just like every other fucking convo. Libs are pro-war. They just want a war they can feel good about. and they started to learn too much about the wars in the Middle East, a lot of them still feel really good about intervention in Syria. They feel good about all the wars. They don't give a shit, or they just don't care. The Dems legit don't care about working class people at all, and if the Republicans can pretend like they do for good PR, they will. Yeah. Help me understand. You were criticizing Biden for not going to Ohio or for going to Ukraine. Biden's visit to Ukraine means the world to me as a Ukrainian. It means we are not getting abandoned. Brother, you are not getting abandoned one way or the other, okay? You're getting $111 billion of weapons. Like, clearly you're not getting abandoned, okay? But no, I'm criticizing Biden not for going to Ukraine. I don't give a shit. Of course he's going to go to Ukraine. You know, that's a show of support. That's fine. But Ohio is literally in your fucking backyard. You couldn't just go to Ohio, even for, you know, a symbolic reason. You couldn't even go to Ohio. It's like 300 miles away, brother. You can't go to Ohio before you, before you fly out to Ukraine. It's been a month. Do you see what I'm saying? Can you go to Ohio and go to Ukraine? Yes, yes, he can do that. Chatter. My Ukrainian chatter friend. He can do that. That's what I'm criticizing. I'm not saying, why the fuck did you go to Ukraine? I don't give a shit. Of course he's going to go to different countries. Like, he's the president, right? There's a part of, like, soft power, hard power, all this shit. But I'm pretty sure he could go to Ohio at a certain point, too. I mean, he could have gone to Ohio and then flown from Ohio to Ukraine. Trump would have never visited a blue state is also not right. He actually went to California when the wildfires were happening. And remember, he was talking about how, like, you gotta sweep the floors. So that's so dumb. That's not the case. He definitely will go to blue states and shit. Why? Because he wants to win, motherfucker. That's the difference. They had to sneak his ass into Ukraine on a train. They can't fly him to Ohio. That's what I mean. Why would Dems want to win? They benefit from Republican policies. They benefit from their position as champions of the moral high ground. It's a win-win to lose. Yeah. I personally don't care that he didn't go to Ohio. I get that dumb Americans won't understand, but they don't understand most things already. Wait, but that's not how you do politics, man. You do dumb shit all the time. Why the fuck do people go to Iowa? You think anyone gives a fuck about Iowa? No. Why do you go and eat a hot dog at the fair, you know? You think that genuinely shows that you give a fuck? It's so funny. Democrats and Republicans do this too. They go to black churches. Okay? Once every fucking 4 years, they step foot inside of a goddamn black neighborhood and they go to the fucking black church one time. Okay? They throw up the fist and then they fuck right off. And it's like, what? You think that means they give a fuck about black people? No. You're doing it to get support. And people are so desperate and so starving for like any kind of assurances that the government still does care about them that they eat it up. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh man, these people are dumb. Fucking fuck them. Make them learn the truth. It's like, you know, that's not the way to go about it. If you do that, you get an easy political optics win. Otherwise, the Republicans will take that easy W. Exactly. Right now, you can very easily hit so many different angles on how the Biden administration fucked up. They broke the strikes that the railroad workers were pushing for. They offered them none of the things that they asked for. Okay. They strong-armed the labor unions in that regard. And then like a month later, a massive derailment occurred that has now created a new cancer cluster in Ohio. Then they didn't even fucking turn around and like say anything about it until, it became national news because everyone on TikTok was freaking out about it, because it was like it wasn't the invisible kind of pollutant that destroys your body every day. It's not the microplastics that we're consuming. It was visible, right? So it was more tangible. It was more identifiable, and people understandably freaked the fuck out about it. Okay? And then, even then, they basically just tweeted about it and didn't do anything. And Republicans will always take advantage of a PR opportunity. They will never let a crisis go to waste. The problem with the situation is that the GOP can virtue signal and claim it's Biden's fault, as if they didn't have also broken the rail strike and deregulated the industry to shit. Biden is the face of it because he's president now. Yeah, Biden fucked up when he also did not reinstitute the Obama era policies. Biden also absolutely fucked up when he did not, when he could have used his power, his influential power from the bully pulpit, to force the railroad companies to listen to the reasonable demands that the railroad workers, the labor unions, were pushing for. Okay? Supposedly the most pro-fucking labor president, right? And then they didn't even do, so that's the policy failures, right? Like, because I said Democrats love doing bad policy, but they also do bad politics. And the bad politics of this process is not going to fucking to Ohio at all. Not even showing face. Not even giving assurances to the people saying, hey, listen, look alive, Jack. You might be a post-industrial town that everyone left behind, but I, as the president, will not leave you behind. But he didn't do that. This is like below bare minimum at this point. You're basically asking, the president to fake being president. Like, what's up? You want to just like lose Ohio forever? Why did you focus on building a microchip center there then? You know what I mean? How are you going to ever win these people over? Motherfuckers that work at the goddamn facilities that you are opening up, that you're literally using congressional power to open up and subsidies to open up, are going to turn around and vote for Donald Trump. Good job. Meanwhile, what you could have done is ensure that these facilities, especially these facilities that are getting government subsidies, right, have to have at least card check or some form of like labor union provisions. Like you could have just said, hey, listen, like in a beautiful, perfect world, anytime you get government subsidies for your industry, whether it be the oil and gas industry, whether it be microchips, whether it be fucking, I don't know, anything, like literally any auto manufacturing plant, Tesla, right? You have to offer your workers unconditionally the right to, okay, even if it's just a symbolic procedure, you have to offer your workers the right to unionize. You can do that. But they don't do that because they don't give a shit. They don't want to do that. That goes against the Democratic Party's interests. Right? Could have done that for the Ohio factories that you're opening up, but you're not doing that. Right? I'm not even saying force them to be unionized. You know what I mean? Because, like, that'll never happen. I mean, that's too perfect of a world. Just force them to at least as a starting point, offer, suggest, do a fucking roll call on how many people anonymously want to join a labor union. You know what I mean? That's something that you could demand. Authoritarian unions, let's go. I mean, you can do that. You can do a card check. You can make that as a provision. I'm sure that, like, Republicans would fight it tooth and nail. Alec and everyone else would, like, go fucking bananas over it and would take it to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court would destroy it. But I'm just saying, you're not even trying it. You know what I mean? You're not even getting to that point.
I announced I'm going. Please sit down. Yeah, go ahead, sit. We'll be here for a while. What do we have to do? What do we have to do? But done in 2 years, nobody's ever seen.
IBEV member here. I would never work in a non-union shop. I'd rather die. I mean, in some instances, literally death. So.
Swamp the rhinos.
This is my favorite take from Donald Trump. I saw this and I lost my fucking mind. It's such good it's just he's popping off.
To swamp the rhinos, the deep state, the globalists, and actually the communists. You know, I used to say we'll never be a socialist country, and I was right, because the train never stopped at the socialist, that station never stopped. It just went right by. So maybe we hit the Marxist station and the communist station, but they never stopped at socialism, did they, Monica? Never stopped, It's like, so I was right.
Yeah. The train never stopped. Choo choo, they said. We're at the communist station. Yeah, dude. America has communism now. The more capitalist America gets, the more communist Republicans call it. It's so funny. All aboard. We got to the Marxist station. As you know, Marxists love deregulating. They love saying redundancies and safety measures are silly and get in the way of the profit motive. Get in the way of the profit margins. This guy, Karl Marx, folks, he wrote a whole book. He loved capitalism. Wrote a whole book about it. Called it Das Kapital.
Isn't directly right. I wish I weren't right. I wish at least they stopped for a little while and then we'll settle that problem. But they've gone long beyond that, what they're going. To swamp the rhinos, the deep state, the globalists. RNC is dying. They're dying. I always predicted they'll endorse me sometime prior to the election. Might have been the only thing I've been wrong about, actually. But now they wish they had to do that over again. No, they're all dying. Even Fox is way down. Fox is way down.
Yeah.
Because they're not on board with us.
They're
not on board with us. But they're better. But they're not on board with us. It's just like 2016. Fox was against me. Everybody was against me. And we like it better that way, don't we? Somehow we like it just fine.
He's coming back, dude. These are some takes, Trump on undocumented immigrants. We got to get him out. We got to start with the bad ones. Trump proposed an executive order banning federal agencies from promoting the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. He's hitting all the high notes. He's talking about trans stuff.
Even talking about these subjects? Think of that. Gender affirming care.
Do we have the full video? I kind of want to watch the full video of this.
Greenhouses, livestock.
Yeah, we watched this yesterday. It's great. Okay. Do we have the full video? I kind of want to watch the full video. But before we get to the Trump shit, here, let's continue.
Increased by around 58%.
What I can tell you from our members on the ground is they feel like safety has degraded.
Greg Regan is the president of the AFL-CIO's Transportation Trades Department.
There is a real impetus to go faster. And so we've seen that pressure decrease the inspection times from about 2 minutes down to an average of 30 to 45 seconds.
He says data from the Federal Railroad Administration shows the rate of accidents has increased over the last 10 years, particularly in rail yards. Yesterday, the Department of Transportation called on the entire industry to immediately make several changes, like using technology to improve inspections and replacing older tank cars with newer, more secure ones, something rail companies have long resisted and Congress has not made a priority.
We definitely need congressional action. We need some of the people who have stood with industry to stand on the side of safety instead.
Do you think East Palestine is a wake-up call?
I think that none of us can look at what happened there and say that everything should continue just the way it was before.
In a statement, Norfolk Southern said, "We are going to learn from this terrible accident and work with regulators and elected officials to improve railroad safety."
Norfolk Southern said, guys, we have a lot of learning to do. We have a lot of learning to do. We're gonna sit our white asses down and listen, okay? You don't understand. We are so sorry. We are so fucking sorry. I mean, we totally, what is this? I'm connected from a connectivity community called the Yavegia in Nasa de Pueblo Nuevo Reservation in Caldona, Cuaca. It serves 859 people. There are more than 3,000 in Colombia. Here I show that they are possible. Why did you send this to me? This connectivity community thus defends its own language, produces local television, has its own technicians, and allows telephone communications to connect to the optical fiber that reaches Caldona. What the fuck? Bro. No way. This motherfucker gave fiber optic to like 300 indigenous people, 3,000 indigenous people, and you don't have it in Los Angeles. I'm losing it, dude. That's crazy. Bro. Like, what the fuck, dude? Indigenous populations with their own unique language in Colombia that are like a total of 3,000 people have better fucking internet than people living in West Hollywood, dude. Shut the fuck up. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy. 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 There is no better representation of how demonstrably corrupt the United States of America is, that poor countries like this, okay, poor countries like this can do more for all of its citizens, literally no matter where they are, than the United States wants to do. Oh my God. 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 I mean, good on them. Good on them.
It's not going to be a problem. As soon as we get in, it'll all be ended. I'll sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. It's enough.
At any age.
You know, I ended it in the military. I took a lot of heat. But I ended in the military. You're not allowed to take drugs, but massive amounts of drugs. And people are disturbed in so many different ways. Look, people, they have their ideas, and I'm not going to knock anything. But
remember, it is never just about like trans children or ever. It was never about protecting children. You don't protect children by like stopping them from taking hormone blockers. And very quickly, the narrative shifted over to, no, adults too. Like, adults too. Always. I forgot how transphobic he is. He honestly doesn't talk about it in that much compared to the rest of the GOP, but when he does, it's just as unhinged, if not more unhinged, yes.
In the military, you're not allowed to take practically an aspirin. And massive amounts of drugs are taken. They have the operation. You need massive amounts of all forms of drugs. And so just on that basis alone, I ended it. And the military was extremely happy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely. Trump's audience grows as he attacks Ron DeSanctimonious in Florida.
They'll even take the we're there, actually. And it was really.
Does anyone have the full one? I want to watch this full video, man. I don't want to watch the highlights because there's so many highlights. There's no lowlights. You know what I mean?
Really good. It was really nice. And everybody thought it was great. And about 2-3 days later, there didn't seem to be much energy. They'll even take this crowd. You know, Ron DeSanctimonious had a crowd in Staten Island today. 139 people in Staten Island. We got a lot of people. We have 139 times about 30. We got a lot of people here. But I always say, hit your enemy a little bit early. Some people say don't, but I say do.
The enemy. Ron DeSanctimonious, he's the enemy. You don't protect trans people by making it more likely for them to commit suicide? Exactly. Well, but they don't never give a fuck about protecting trans people anyway. They don't want trans people to exist.
And this state is so incredible. And I never mention this because I don't like hitting Republicans. I really don't. But I did get 1.2 million more votes than Ron. 1.2 million more votes. Nobody wants to mention. The press refuses to mention it. We'll have to talk to our Club 47 people about this. They don't want to mention good things. No, I got 1.2 million votes more than Ron. And Ron did good in Florida, but I did great. And we won it very easily. In fact, the people in Florida said, sir, you don't even have to come. They love you in Florida. But they love me for a reason. They love me because of the job I did.
There's homies in here promoting like their fucking their illegal black band FIFA, fucking footy streams. That's so weird. Champions League, lad. It's not FIFA, but it's footy. Footy, yeah. Trump brags he actually had a very good relationship with Putin. We noticed, says Aaron.
Example, Putin never, ever would have gone into Ukraine if I were president. Never. And I told him, I actually had a very good relationship. By the way, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. You know, these idiots back there would say, he's very close to Putin. Remember when they hit me with the question, who do you trust? Your intelligence people in the United States.
It's so funny that, like, it's technically correct to have and maintain a decent relationship with every fucking world leader, okay? But, like, they literally say this about Xi Jinping. They're like, Trump, not me, but even though I call him Xi Jinping, Joe Biden, he has a very good relationship with Xi Jinping. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, what the fuck are you saying? They pick and choose. Like, you know, Republicans can do no wrong. They get away with it. They can be friendly with all the fucking world leaders, which they should. Like, you know, it's always better to lead through. It's always better to make sure that the relationships that you have with other, you know, foreign nations is a positive one. You already have trade. You already have trade relationships. So just continue on that. But don't talk to Cuba or Venezuela. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so fucking annoying.
Not intelligent. You're intelligence people. Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Lisa Page. How about Lisa? Or Putin. And I said, you know, that could be the toughest question I've ever been asked as a politician. They wanted me. And then when I really didn't give them a very good answer in terms of exactness, because I didn't want to, because I didn't trust these people. They're bad people. These are bad people. And when I didn't give, all hell broke loose. But that's okay, that's okay. And it turned out I was right. I was right about that, too. These people, what they have done to our country with the fake Russia scam. And, it's just incredible. But Putin never.
Okay, dude, it's so boring. Trump on Russia's war, continuing to pour money is delaying everything.
It would have never happened. Now, with that being said, it did happen. I believe I could settle that thing in 24 hours.
Oh my God, dude. I love that. Dude, he's so awesome. He said, give it up to me. I'll settle it in 24 hours. This is unironically the most like normie American hog take that you could just fucking laser focus on, okay? It's so good. It's so good. It's such a good fucking... This is literally channeling the exact same fucking attitude that all these fucking hogs have. It's the idea that you're like, yeah, what do you mean? I can do this. Monday morning quarterback, armchair quarterbacking. I could kick a football. I don't understand why you fucking failed, bitch. I would have tossed the pigskin way better. Just let me on the field. Let me do my thing, okay? It's awesome. What's wrong with wanting to end a war, though? No, I want the war to end, too. It's just funny to think that, like, Trump is like, yeah, just let me at him. 24 hours, I'll solve it. Like, what do you mean? How is he doing that? This is the same energy as Marky Mark saying he would have killed the hijackers on 9/11. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I think I could. I really do. I really do. And continuing to pour money in is delaying everything. It's delaying a lot of settlement. It's delaying a lot of things. But it's also getting a lot of people killed because every day that goes on, more and more people are getting killed. More and more of some of those incredible buildings with the domes that are 1,000 years old, they're just laying down dead right now. The whole cities are being done. Almost every single power plant in Ukraine has been destroyed because Russia wins wars with the cold. They beat Napoleon with the cold. They beat Hitler with the cold. That's how they win. And that's what they're doing.
Bro, like, okay, but like you're also talking about Ukraine at that point. Like, I mean, it's a funny take, but like also, but that's Ukraine too, like what you're considering Russia at that point is also like, Ukraine as well. Also, Ukraine isn't a Western European nation that decided to invade Russia. So I don't know why he said that. It's so funny, dude. He's so good. Yeah, and it only helped Russia in a defensive war, not when attacking. Yeah, exactly. It's not. What? It makes no sense because what he's claiming is Russia at that point also features Ukraine. Like Ukrainians were the ones who also beat the Nazis with the cold. You know what I mean? They got wizards. They're using the cold to their advantage. They're doing it.
Now they're knocking out all the power plants and people are freezing to death. And it's a very bad thing. I could settle that in one day. As president, you need the power of that.
I can settle that in one day. It's so good. I'm sorry. It's fucking awesome. Like, just give me Ukraine. I'll handle it in one day. One day. Same energy as the chatters being like, I could serve a top of the hour ad break better than you. It's like, no, you can't. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. Okay. Can do it better than you. No, you can't. Bye-bye. You no longer want to see those ads at the top of the hour. All you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime or by getting gifted a sub. Hasanabi's nipple. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. It is a very Steven Seagalian take. Send me to Ukraine, I'll fix it in one day. I've been living in Ukraine for 25 years. I'll fix it. MP Sharky, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
That office, but you need to have shtekel. You need to have a way of dealing. You can't do that
Hasan's
just by
Treadwife,
standing
thank you
and
for the
saying,
5
"Oh,
gifted."
we're going to get it." Look, people are dying. The country is being obliterated. Russia's a warring nation. They have many missiles. And if those missiles didn't work, they have other missiles, which we don't even want to talk about.
No.
Very powerful missiles, just like we have, and bombs. And that should be settled immediately, and it could be settled immediately. And when I watch these people going
thank you for the
over
5
there and
gifted
talking,
subs.
they have no idea what they're doing. And every day that goes by, in many ways, is a gift to Putin, because it just gets worse and worse, and more people are, how do they live like that? And many aren't living.
Many aren't living because they're dead.
Death count is much higher than what
That's so good.
nuclear
Yeah, no, he literally is like, many aren't living because they died.
is so devastating that we don't even want to talk about it. And that was a word that was never supposed to be mentioned. You have 2 N-words, neither of which should ever be mentioned. I said that once. I said, oh, what a terrible thing to say. No. You have 2 N-words. You know what the one is, but the other is the nuclear word. Not supposed to ever be mentioned. Ever, ever, ever. It's mentioned every single day now. Nuclear is so devastating that we don't even want to talk about it. And that was a word that was never supposed to be mentioned. You have 2 N-words, neither of which should ever be mentioned.
So good. The GOAT, dude. The fucking GOAT.
To be in the same room with you, number
Thank
one.
you. It's my honor.
I'd also like to thank you for your sacrifice to the people of this country.
Man, he sacrificed so much, dude.
A lot of people are right now auditioning. You know that. A lot of people that are running at 1%, 2%, 3%, no percent. We have a couple that are joining. They're at no percent. I say, I wonder what they're doing. I think they're auditioning right now for.
Every Democrat that poo-poos any kind of like peace talks attitude, any kind of any Democrat that comes out and says like you're bad, you're wrong, you're evil for like fucking wanting to put an end to the war immediately in Ukraine, is doing a disservice, because then you got these fucking dummies who are like, no, we want to end it. We want to end it. When like they don't give a shit. They're never going to stop it. They don't give a fuck. They don't want to end it. But at least they're saying they want to. Half the time they want to end it by because they want to take the money away from Ukraine and like what, fund the border wall or bomb Mexico. You know?
Yes, we have a question here, Mr. President. Yes.
Oh, Joe, come on.
Hello, Mr. President. Thank
Hi.
you so much for everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
We all love you.
Thank you.
We have a problem with all the 3-letter agencies in Washington.
Oh, dude, this is the most groiped up shouty in the fucking room right there. We have a problem with the 3-letter agencies, sir. They're using the tactics they use on Muslims on us instead, sir. What do we got to do about that?
The CIA, the FBI.
So do I.
What is your plan to, I hate to put it this way, but burn them down and start all over again?
Yeah. They've gotten out of control. They have weaponization in some forms and other things. They have really gotten out of control. And the only thing that can change that are the people. And we did a lot of work, and we were really getting down to a point that, nobody could believe how well we were doing in that regard. But we're going to have to do something about it. We're going to make changes and big changes, and that change has to start.
Yes, we have a question here, Mr. President. Yes.
Oh, Joe, come on.
Hello, Mr. President. Thank
Hi.
you so much for everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
We all love you.
Thank you.
We
Yeah,
have
big changes are coming. Yeah, he's gonna abolish. He's gonna dissolve the CIA and the FBI.
Because it became too big for its bridge.
A guy asked Trump if AT&T should be dismantled because DirecTV dropped Newsmax. Oh my God. I love when they fucking talk about monopolist power only because like their favorite programming has been disrupted. It's so frustrating, dude. It's so crazy. I mean, I'll take it. I don't give a fuck. Like the only time when they're like, yeah, let's do something about these fucking mega corporations is when like Disney comes out and says something along the lines of like, yeah, you shouldn't like try to murder gay people. They're like, whoa, what the fuck? Time to put corporate punishments on the board. And it's like, okay, fine, do it. I don't even give a shit. I don't care. Do it. Yeah, it's because of the gay people thing. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? And then they never do. A guy asked if he wants his fans to fight for him. Trump says, what we need is your absolute undying support, and we have it. We lost by a whisker here, a whisker there. Okay, yeah, all right. So, Trump popped off. This is Trump's remarks in East Palestine after the train derailment.
He's been here for 4 days. I've been watching him every day. J.D. Vance has been incredible.
He put big boys behind him, and I love that, okay? This man knows optics, dude. Look at the fucking big boys behind him.
To the people of East Palestine and to the nearby communities in Ohio and Pennsylvania, we have told you loud and clear, you are not forgotten. You are not forgotten. We stand with you, we pray for you, and we will stay with you in your fight to help answer and the accountability that you deserve. We'll have that accountability. It'll all be out there very clearly. I want to thank Senator J.D. Vance for being here. I want to thank Congressman Bill Johnson, very special friends of mine. They became really very good friends of mine. I also want to recognize a man who has been working tirelessly for this community since the beginning of the nightmare. And Trent, where's Trent? He's very easy to find. Huh?
Oh, my God. Yes, dude. Yes, he's very easy to find. He's bulbous. He's such a big boy. I love my big boys. You love to see it, folks. No little boys here, only big ones. Don't we love them?
Your Mayor, in addition, let me express our tremendous respect and admiration for all of the police and firefighters and first responders. And all over the country there's such heroes, but this was a great example of it because that was a very dangerous looking sight. So I want to thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. 19 days ago, tragedy struck this wonderful village and rocked the lives of people throughout this area, long beyond this area. It's been weeks since Americans have been inspired. They've just watched this over the weeks. They've been inspired by your strength and your courage and how you've come together to stand up for the families in your area and the families of this village and beyond. We've seen the first responders and railroad workers serving bravely in the line of duty. The railroad workers have been really incredible, actually, and they've gone way above the call of duty. We've seen citizens speaking up at the town halls, and we've seen organizations such as the East Palestine Community Foundation rising to the occasion to provide tremendous relief and help to the people that were so badly affected. So I want to thank you all. Fantastic job. Really great. Everybody's been watching. We've all been watching on television and beyond television. We've been getting our news from the real news and from the fake news. And the fake news we even believed in this case because they've covered it very fairly. Over the past few weeks, the community has shown the tough and resilient heart of America, and that's what it is. This is really America right here. We're standing in America. Unfortunately, as you know...
Look at our big boys. It's real America. Oh, absolutely hilarious. The second Trump took office in 2016, he rolled back train safety regulations. Yeah, no, literally. This is like... The thing is, not a single one of these motherfuckers is thinking about that, okay? Like, and low key, if you don't have the Democratic Party if you don't have a Democratic Party with like actual messaging on the issue, okay, you're going to lose. You can't even blame these motherfuckers for being duped. You know? That's it. It's such good press for Trump, man. It is such good press for Trump. Just a gimme, you know? Just an absolute fucking gimme. And he just took it, dude. He seized it.
In too many cases, your goodness and perseverance were met with indifference and betrayal in some cases. Biden and FEMA said they would not send federal aid to East Palestine under any circumstance. They're not going to send aid. I thought that was a strange statement because I've been working with FEMA for a long time, 4 years, and they were great with us with the tornadoes, the hurricanes, and things like this. And it was a strange statement to come out, and they were doing nothing for you. They were intending to do absolutely nothing for you. JD and I spoke, and they said, they're not coming. They're not going to come. And I said, that's very strange. FEMA said...
it's not strange. They're lying about it. They're just lying about it. But guess what? When you have no counter to that, when you like... Here's one thing I got to mention, okay? This is what reactionary people do, right? They are shifting the blame over to the federal agencies. They're shifting the blame over to the government, okay? And the government did have blame here, for sure, absolutely. They were not proactive. But as far as reaction, okay, as far as like being reactive, oh my God, this guy keeps saying, I love J.K. Rowling, W.J.K. Rowling. Dude, you are literally, it's not that there's a bunch of different people that are saying W.J.K. Rowling. Bro, there is nothing more pathetic than writing for some random old British billionaire woman, okay? Like some old random British turf that you're writing for. Like, you're such a silly, pathetic fucking loser. I don't know what to tell you, dog. You're just like, I don't even give a fuck about any of the books or whatever. I just love that she's transphobic and she's like pissing off trans people. So like, hell yeah, brother, fucking riding for her. It's like, okay, dude, cool. I mean, there's not a better L for you than just bringing up J.K. Rowling for no fucking reason. Anyway. The government should have been proactive. They weren't. That's an L for them. But they should have. But they were trying to be reactive. And the FEMA and the state of Ohio have been in constant contact regarding emergency operations in East Palestine. U.S. EPA in Ohio have been working together since day one. Devine and the FEMA regional administrator Thomas Sivak said in a joint statement. Not only is FEMA working, but the original reason as to why, read your own title. Oh, it's because I have the J.K. Rowling said she'd die or whatever in my title. That's the reason why they're coming in to be like, I love J.K. Rowling. But like FEMA, of course, as is the case with every single circumstance, immediately said, yeah, we'll come to help. You know what I mean? And if there's any delay, in FEMA response, it oftentimes is not necessarily FEMA's fault, and I am no fan of FEMA, do not misunderstand me, but it's usually the governors that say, no, let's hold off on it. It's not a big deal. Why is FEMA bad? I mean, look up Katrina to find out more. Why wouldn't they want government help? I don't know. Why wouldn't red state governors and red state Republicans refuse to expand Medicare? Even if it directly helps, poor Republicans in their states and gives them affordable health care to a certain degree. Or not Medicare, sorry, Medicaid. My bad. Much to think about.
Specifically, this doesn't meet the criteria, and that's horrible, and somebody has to do something for those people, I said back. When I announced that I was coming, they changed their tune. It was an amazing phenomena. The mayor and I were discussing that. It was quite amazing what happened, and they said that we can't let this happen. That was a big change of pace. JD, did you ever see a change like that one? That was a quick, rapid change. But we can't let this happen, they said, and we'll be there. And we opened up the dam, and we got them to move, and they all came in, and they're now pouring you in with help. And I will tell you, I had a great...
What's the difference between Medicare and Medicaid? Medicare is for everyone over the age of what is it, 65? Or is it 75? I think it's 65, right? They wanted to lower it down to 55. Anyway, Medicare is for old people. Medicaid is for poor people.
Great relationship with FEMA. I found FEMA to be incredible, amazing in every way. And we had tremendous luck with the tornadoes and all of the hurricanes and everything else that we had. And they were fantastic. And now they're fantastic here. They could have been 2 weeks earlier or at least a week earlier, but they decided to do it this way. And I guess it came from the top. And so we have to understand that. You know, it reminded me a little bit, I don't know if you remember when Ohio State wasn't going to be playing football for another season. They were going to sit back and watch with the China virus or COVID, whatever you want to call it. And I called the head of the Big Ten football. I said, you got to get this football open. And
Medicare eligibility for the disabled as well, disabled and old, whereas Medicaid is for people below a certain level of yearly income.
They were great. They responded, and Ohio State played that season. Nobody remembers that, I think, right? Does anybody know? You got at least one. You could be close, but by now you still would be close probably. But we got that open very early, and you had a great season of football, to put it mildly. So that was a very great honor, the Big Ten, and that led to the NFL, and it led to most of the rest of football in the country. But you led it through Ohio State and Big Ten, and we got that done. I did that very personally. I called the commissioner, and he did a good job. What this community...
God, who cares? Really? Are you fucking joking? He's literally preaching right now, dude. Are you kidding me? Who cares? Literally, even people in this chat probably think that was great. Fuck do you mean? They live in Ohio. This is all they care about. You guys are failing to recognize that, like, that is genuinely a dub. Every moment where he talks about how the election was stolen from him, not a dub. Every moment that he talks about how, like, he opened the fucking open football back, okay, in the middle of COVID, that's a dub. That's a fat dub. Ohio is not that stupid. Oh my God, bro. You are silly.
Needs now are not excuses and all of the other things you've been hearing, but answers and results, and that's what I think you're going to say. Norfolk Southern needs to fulfill its responsibilities and obligations.
I love that he's finally talking about Norfolk Southern, like the responsible party in this matter.
And I see that they're starting to come here now too, because they also were saying they're not coming. But it means that the affected communities beyond the borders of East Palestine are going to be taken care of, and they've said so, and they've said it loud and clear, and I think they probably mean it. I sincerely hope that when your representatives and all of the politicians get here, including Biden, they get back from touring Ukraine.
He's in Ukraine. He's too busy. Biden. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's popping. He's popping off, dude. He's cooking.
Money left over because we're now at $117 billion.
Said Biden. Yeah.
Dollars, and As you probably know, Europe, when you add it all up, is at about $10 billion. That's a big difference, wouldn't you say? That's one of the things that gets me, because they're at it again. They're very good negotiators, those people in Europe. You know, when you add it all up, it's about the same size as the United States, the economy of the different European countries, and they're at a very small number compared to us. So you'll start working on that, I guess, when you get back. I think JD will have that well under. He's listened. He heard that number, but it's a massive difference. It's a very small fraction of what we put up, and it affects them more than us, and they have to do what they have to do. But we're going to find time to come back if necessary. If they don't come back and give you the treatment that you need, we will be back. The Biden administration should ensure that every family has the option of moving and homes and everything else until this thing is straightened out. I do want to especially thank some of the incredible people that helped us, because we're bringing thousands of bottles of water, Trump water, actually, most of it. Some of it we had to go to a much lesser quality water. You want to get those Trump bottles, I think, more than anybody else. But we're bringing a lot of water, thousands of bottles, and we have it in trucks, and we brought some on my plane today. But to that end, I'm pleased to...
Trump water reaction? What the fuck is this?
Better water?
Are you serious?
And guess who the other water is?
Whatever it is, I wouldn't wash my socks in this.
Now I can't wait to tell you what it is.
What?
Trump ice.
Oh. I'm sorry. Donald,
I wouldn't wash my socks in this.
I didn't know. I love Donald. I'm sorry.
I love you, Donald. I'm so sorry. I fucked it up for you. Oh, no. That's a friendly fire. I didn't realize the friendly fire was on. Oh, no.
To announce that we've helped coordinate the delivery of the
Adrian.
water and bottled water, as well as the tractor trailers full of it. We have big tractor trailers full of water. I think you're going to have plenty of water for a long time, maybe. And I want to thank those of you that helped.
Most deranged. Oh, undercover boss at Hooters. I would love to fucking see this full episode. Give me the full episode of the CEO of Hooters going undercover inside of Hooters.
John Rourke, who's fantastic. Blue Line Moving. Is John here?
God, I hope Stallone is not a Trumper. Wait, what? I mean, his brother definitely is. I'm pretty sure Sly is too. Of course he is. What do you mean?
Hello, John. Good job. Got a lot of trucks coming up with water, right? That's true. You're a fantastic guy. Friend of my son, Don, who's also here. Where's Don? Good job. Did you get him to do that? I think so, huh? He does it on his own? Yeah, he does. He's fantastic. He helps. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate it. Two fellows.
Yeah, he's here. He's here. My son is here too. He fucking sucks.
His moving company, and I want to thank the people within the Trump organization that helped us with all of the water.
It's insane for a Republican candidate to use government aid and the other party's lack of care as a way to promote themselves. We live in the upside down. First of all, it's not insane. It's good politics, and Trump is doing it. This is how he won one time. They literally will never liberals will never understand. No, he isn't. His daughters are huge libs who have a podcast. First of all, the Stallone daughters are irrelevant to the Stallone father's personal politics. Like I said, I don't know about Sly himself. I wouldn't be surprised if he is a Trump, if he's a Trumper. Maybe like a Trumper that fucking turned around and is like no longer Trump because of January 6th or whatever. But Frank Stallone absolutely fucking is a massive Trump supporter. Not only is he a major Trump supporter, that he's like he literally is like a psycho. The hilarious thing is libbed up politicians do the exact same kind of optics politics, but libs don't recognize it because they're so fucking stupid as they assume Republicans are. Yeah, except Here I am. You're right, by the way. Liberals love doing the same kind of optics politics. You're right. Here I am asking liberals to do that in Ohio. That's the crazy part. I'm like, liberals, please do the same dumbass optics politics you do in Ohio, please, if you want to win.
We got it from all of our different hotels, all of our different places, and it was great. They really came together.
And liberals are like, nah, we're good.
Also, I want to thank Sandy Pensler and his son, Jonathan Pensler, from Cortex in Michigan for donating thousands. It's an honor.
Okay, I don't care about him like reading out donors.
Thank you.
Okay, this part is bullshit. It's boring.